Hey, Shalom. Shalom to my Akim and Aquathium and Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, all my brothers and my sisters in the Lord. This one's going to be pretty quick. I'm just waking up. And I had a dream last night. And before it slips my mind, and it almost did slip my mind. Because, I just had to make the babies their bottles and, change their diapers. And I just actually wound up thinking, and my mind was coming back into remembrance of what I was dreaming about last night. So I'm gonna just try to give it to you while it's somewhat still fresh on my mind. But I had a dream of these missiles, man. I had a dream of these missiles, and there was a brother who it was actually the brother GMS Solemn Assembly 2, one of the brothers from that camp. It was the more fair-skinned brother with the small bush. It was that brother, man. He makes fire videos too, man. But he was in my dream, man. But in my dream it was me, my daughters. Remember my oldest daughter, she's 5. She was in it, and I was looking out the window of my house, and I saw a smoke trail such as this one we see in the picture. And it didn't immediately strike me that it was a missile, but after maybe about 3 seconds of looking at it, and they were coming up from the horizon, after like 3 seconds of looking at them come over the land, I started to realize it was missiles. At first, people didn't really notice them, but after some time, people began noticing these trails in the air. At first it was like one, and then it was like, a minute or two would go by, then it would be 2 more of these trails coming up over the horizon, over the sky. And then I remember looking at the trail and seeing plain as day a missile, dude. Akim, I'm not lying. I saw a missile, right? I'm looking at the trail, and as I start looking at the head of the trail to see what it is, it's a straight up missile, dude. It was flying over the land. I saw the missiles. I didn't see the missiles land. I saw them land, but it's not like they landed so far away I didn't see where they landed. That's kind of what I mean. They landed so far away I didn't even see the explosion of the landing. But I saw multiple trails in the air. First it was 1, and then it was turned into like 3, and then it was like 3 or 4 at a time, and they were spaced out between a minute or 2 between them coming up upon the horizon and flying through the sky. I saw the brother from GMS Solemn Assembly too. Seen that brother. He was in my dream. Me and him, we were in the same house together. We in the dream. We took place in the same house together, and he was doing his thing. He began praying, and I was in another room, and I began praying. And my daughter came up and was asking me what was going on, and I was telling her the judgments are here, and that those are missiles. People started freaking out. Like how you see this guy in the bottom left-hand corner, how he's looking. That's how people were looking, with their hands on their ears, on their face, in terror. People were very afraid. And there's one more very, very, very important aspect of this dream. Africa was hit. There was something. Man, I wish I would. As soon as I woke up, I would have recorded this, but my babies were crying, so I got to making them bottles and changing diapers and stuff. But there was an issue between some African countries and Ukraine and Africa and America. It was some type of beef between these 3 regions: Ukraine, Africa, and America. Africa was hit with nuclear missiles. Africa was hit with nuclear missiles, and it had something to do with Ukraine, and the United States of America was not safe either, and it had something to do with Ukraine. That's what I seen in my dream, and that's one of the main things that was revealed to me in the dream. It was something with Africa and Ukraine. Something was going on, y'all, and Africa was hit. I don't know what country, but I did see the civil unrest that it caused. The Lord allowed me to see what the aftermath of this was. The fire was kindled. Shit was still on fire, y'all. I seen like how you got transit bridges for beltways and stuff. I seen like the bridges and overpasses, and the roads were just blown out in chunks, man, just blown out. I seen firefighters try to put out fires, but it didn't work. The fires were not getting put out. I seen people hanging from these bridges and overpasses that were blown out, like hanging and was falling. People was like, okay, like let's say if like, I know y'all familiar with like beltways and on and off ramps and how they're basically bridges that overpass different directions and orientations of the beltway, like these huge road infrastructures that turn into roads and bridges. They were blown out, and one guy, I seen a news reporter, this was kind of weird, but it was a news reporter, and he was standing in the blown out section of the bridge. He was just standing there, and that shit was on fire. It was like little fires kindled on the concrete of that bridge that was blown out, and he was hanging with one hand and standing on the ledge of the blown out bridge. And he had a microphone in the other hand, and then the microphone began catching on fire. And meanwhile, while he's reporting, a firefighter was trying to save him, and the guy died. Him and the firefighter both fell, and they died. They fell. It was like a good 50, 60 foot drop. They fell. I seen a rush of civil traffic of people trying to expedite the area. People were trying to leave. People was trying to get the hell out of that area. I seen a guy on his motorcycle, and it was traffic, and there was a guy on his motorcycle. He was hitting like maybe triple digits, man. He had to been doing 100 to 120 miles an hour, and he was weaving in and out of traffic, and I watched him straight up run into the back of like a pickup truck. And this was in Africa, and I seen a guy run into the back of a pickup truck, and he went flying. He went flying and got decapitated on the ground, and then I watched a truck hit him. A truck run over him. They didn't even hit their brakes, man. People were in panic. People were trying to expedite themselves out of these areas. I seen it. People were in panic, and people were trying to flee, man. And it was just all hell breaking loose. What else did I see? It was fires kindled everywhere, man, and it was just things were blown up and destroyed. You know, there was pieces of concrete that was even kindling a fire like candles. But of course, a bigger flame than a candle, but it was just fires that were kindled on things that are not even flammable. Yeah, man, there's something that's going on. Something's going to go on between Africa, Ukraine, and America. Something, I don't know, man, but that's what in the dream. That's what I saw, man. But the same way you see this smoke trail, man, we're going to see these smoke trails come upon the horizons of America, man. And like I said, first it was one, and then I started seeing three at a time. And they were coming up over the horizon how the sun would rise. They were coming up over the land like that. And then it would just come over the land. It was going over us, man. It was causing mad mayhem and panic. You know, and like it was one at a time, and then a couple seconds would go by, then it'll be literally three coming up at a time. Three separate smoke trails, three separate missiles coming over the horizon, and then another four, and then they were coming, yo. I seen it. So the Lord is definitely about to bring down the lands of the world. It's not only going to be America. America is going to receive the blunt of the destruction, but Salakia. But like as I said, I seen Africa got hit, man. I don't know what country it was. I don't know, but it was Africa. There was some place in Africa that got hit with missiles, man. I'm not going to even say that I know if they were nuclear. I think they were nuclear, but they were definitely some hard-hitting missiles. They were not no light pity-patty missiles. These were some serious missiles, possibly nuclear. And it was something that was involving Ukraine. Something that was involving Ukraine. Okay? That's what I can remember from the vision. But yeah, y'all, definitely repent. Stay in prayer. If I'm revealed anything else, I'll come to this page and definitely reveal it to the sheep. No questions asked. And I'll pray that the Lord will yet reveal more unto me. It would be according to his mercies and his will, man. But until I, get back on this plow, which will be hopefully later on today, it'll be shalom until next time. Shalom.